Here she
And
comes.
here comes Carrie. Oh,
Okay, let's mute, ladies.
hello. This week we are making a very elegant, swelligant dessert, which is Pavlova, which is super easy to make, takes very few ingredients, and it relies on technique more than anything else. So very few ingredients, technique, and I'll give you that technique. And it looks pretty spectacular when it's made. So Pavlova is just meringue. It is a meringue filled with fruit and various, it could be filled with whipped cream, but it's filled with fruit for today. So we start by turning on the oven to 250, and you have a, I have a Silpat liner. Spray it. And put it to the side. Let's talk, okay, ingredients. Egg whites. Now I separated the eggs earlier because it's easier to separate eggs when they're cold. They stay together better. I mean, the yolk stays separate. Egg whites whip better at room temperature. So you've got egg whites and sugar. Now, I don't have superfine sugar. I would prefer to use superfine sugar, but I just stuck this into a food processor, pulsed it a few times, and I've got basically superfine sugar. Cornstarch, cream of tartar, vanilla, lemon juice, and I always throw in a pinch of salt. And that's it. That's all that's Pavlova. The cornstarch really helps the Pavlova have much more of a mushroomy texture. So how do we do this? First, and I highly recommend a stand mixer, or a hand mixer. I think I did egg whites once, and I will never do that again by hand. It's just too much trouble, and it takes forever, and my arm fell off, and no. So egg whites go into a mixer along with a little bit of cream of tartar. Cream of tartar is an acid, so it's going to help the egg whites stay fluffy and whip up full volume. And I'm throwing in, because I'm doing lemon curd filling, I'm throwing in a little bit, like a teaspoon or so, of lemon juice. So, and you turn it on and you whip it. I know it's just delightful that I've got the beater going, but unfortunately that's all you can do. You're whipping it for about 2 minutes. While that's happening, I'm sorry about this, guys. While that's happening, a tablespoon of cornstarch gets stirred into the very fine sugar. like I said, cornstarch, and I'm going to throw in just a tiny little bit of salt. Stir that together. Now your egg whites, hi Dina. Dina just walked through the door. Your egg whites need to be in soft peaks before you put in your sugar. And I'll show you that in just a second. So it's about 2 minutes. And this is what it looks like. You know, it's nice. It's not stiff peaks, but it works. And then while it's beating, you add your sugar. The idea is that you want the sugar dissolved. It's important to have the sugar dissolved, and that only comes through beating. And that's one of the reasons why it's so good to have superfine sugar, because it will dissolve much quicker. Pavlova looks so good. It just looks like something elegant. And like I said, this is it. It's all that's really important about it. You just have to make sure that your meringue is made properly. And there it goes. Just a cup of sugar. It's really important that you have a very clean bowl, because any grease in this will cause the egg whites to not, well, they'll collapse. They won't work very well. So, and okay, all the sugar is added. I'm all set. It is now another 2 minutes, and then I'll add the vanilla. So meringue is dead simple when you've got a machine. It's very simple to do. And I'm not making Italian meringue, which requires a thermometer and all of that. This is just mix it up and hope for the best. So, Pavlova, I understand, was for the opera singer, Pavlova. And it was a special dessert that was special for her. I love it.
You mean the ballet dancer?
What?
You said opera singer. You mean the ballet dancer?
I can't hear you.
I said, you mean the ballet dancer?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Anna Pavlova?
Yes. So it's about, now it's time to add the vanilla. And we're basically done. I'm going to stop it. Make sure that it's correct. Has to be very stiff. I'm going to mix it for another 30 seconds or so. top speed. If this were the cooking channel, they'd have a bowl of it ready for you so that you wouldn't have to watch all of this stuff or listen to it. So there you go. You can see it is just like super set up. So now you can make little pavlovas, pipe them. I've piped this and it's just, for me, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to do the piping. I think I just want to do it and you don't have to worry about deflating it at this point because the eggs are really super mixed with that. You can actually hold it upside down. And then you just shape it into a bowl. So I like it all freeform. I really do. I think it looks cool. Get it all swirly and gorgeous and that looks pretty good. And it's basically a bowl. So 250 oven, it goes in for exactly 1 hour. Now, if you were making baby ones, little ones, individual ones, you would probably want to do it for less time than an hour, but I've never made them, so I don't know how long, but I'd probably start checking to make sure that they weren't all brown or something. It gets slightly brown, but not much. This goes in to a 250 oven for 1 hour. Then, after 1 hour, you crack the oven open, you turn it off, crack the oven open. I use a spoon like this, just like that, and leave it for another hour. By that time, you can take it out and remove it. Now I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. Because of course I made one yesterday. Yeah, it looks the same, right? Except that it is slightly brown, not really brown, but you know, a little bit of the edges are brown, and it's cracky and it's wonderful. And I made it yesterday, covered it. The only problem is if it's very humid, it won't keep very long. But I covered it with foil and it's quite lovely. Don't you think, Dina? Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so what do you do with this for dessert? Well, I used all of those yolks to make lemon curd. I made some lemon curd because I can and because I've got millions of lemons. And so I also went to the store yesterday and bought blueberries. So I have lemon curd. Now, I tasted the blueberries and I didn't, they were kind of sour, which makes me crazy. So I took a cup of them with a, just a spoonful of sugar and a little bit of water and made them into a blueberry syrup by bringing them to a boil and simmering them for, like 10 minutes. And now it's cool. I just cooled it because I wasn't happy with how it tasted. Oh, well, how the blueberries tasted. I'm going to put real blueberries on there, but now with the pavlova, it's important that you don't fill it until you're about ready to serve it. But because it's so easy, what's not to like? I filled this with strawberries and cream, whipped cream, sweetened whipped cream. I've filled it with raspberries and raspberry jam, which was mighty fine, and then whipped cream. You fill it with whatever you've got. It's really quite tasty. So I've got the lemon curd, and I'm just going to scoop it on into that. And if it gets a few cracks in it, if it gets, if it kind of collapses, it's all good. It's all good. So here we go. Just, even if it breaks apart, this thing tastes wonderful. It tastes very marshmallowy and wonderful. So we've got the lemon curd, which fills that middle cavity. Oh, and I can put some of drape some of that juice all over the place, make it look beautiful. And put a few blueberries on top, fresh blueberries on top. Garnish it with some mint from my garden. Now tell me that isn't an elegant dessert. It's just, and the main problem with making it is to think about it the day before, because this would be a perfect dessert for a dinner party because you get everything done ahead and it looks so darn good. And by the way, it tastes really good too. So there you have it, pavlova. Easy peasy, really good. Like I said, it's all about technique. That's all that it is. It's not difficult at all to make. So there you go. Yes.
Okay, so how important is the cream of tartar? Because I still don't have stiff peaks and I've been mixing this entire time.
What?
Uh-huh. So I didn't get my electric mixer down, or my KitchenAid down because I didn't have time. So I was doing my hand mixer, but I've been hand mixing this entire time and I still don't have stiff peaks. So is that because I didn't put in cream of tartar because I didn't have any?
shouldn't be that. The lemon juice should do it.
I
The
put
lemon juice should be fine.
Are
What,
you using the whip attachment?
I'm using the beaters.
Oh, use the whip.
well, she doesn't have it. It's a hand.
Hand mixer.
Mine has a whip too.
Let me see if I have a whip.
Well, that's weird.
Mine has 2 beaters and a whip.
What does it look like, Carrie? Can you show us?
Yeah, so it looks, right now it looks like this. So it's not, it's still,
Does it have any, does it have any sugar in it?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you to do something. Okay, could you take just a little bit between your fingers and see if you can feel any sugar?
Okay, yes, I can feel sugar.
That's the reason why. You're really going to have to whip it some more.
All right,
Whip
well, I found this. Oh, let's try that.
Whatever.
Did you
really
find it?
hope it works.
I found this. So,
Oh,
That's the whip.
okay.
that
Let's see
should
if
do it. Okay. Yeah. When the sugar dissolves, that's when it gets all fluffy. And I haven't used this with a hand mixer in since I got this thing. so that was about 30 years ago.
Well, and I didn't do the sugar in the food processor thing either, because I didn't.
Okay. That's
So I had
a while
regular
then.
sugar, no cream of tartar.
Well, the cream of tartar, as long as you've got lemon juice in there,
I do.
then it should be fine. The
Okay.
cream of tartar is simply an acid. That's all that it is. And it's a fine acid, but it's an acid.
Okay.
You will get there eventually. It will just take you longer than me. I'm sorry.
Okay. This is, I'm here as like your test subject. It's like, okay, now here's a real person attempting this.
Yes, exactly. And that's exactly why it should happen, So
But
there
that
you
happens.
go.
That's the sort of thing that does happen. Just up the level on your hand mixer.
Yeah,
That happens sometime with my hand mixer.
yeah. I mean, it's not, you aren't doing anything wrong. There isn't anything that you would do differently. The only thing that I can think now, if it was simply not whipping up at all,
Mhm.
then I'd say, I think what you have is a little bit of grease in it, in the bowl.
Mhm.
But I don't think you do.
No, it is whipping. It's just taking a really long time.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't remember it with a hand mixer.
Mhm.
I do remember it with hand whip, because that was embedded in my my memory. But I think you'll still get there. You're going to let me know, right? Yeah. So there you have it. There you have Pavlova, beautiful dessert, easy. And Carrie, that if you were having a dinner party, you wouldn't be in the kitchen with your guests doing this.
Right.
You would just be doing it. You'd be doing it in the morning or the day before.
Mhm.
Like I said, don't do it the day before if it's high humidity. But all I did was cover it with aluminum foil on the plate, and it held perfect. It was perfect.
Nice.
And like I said, it looks spectacular, and it would be good, I think, for Mother's Day. What do you think? Yeah. Yeah,
Kate,
because
it would be a beautiful Passover dessert. Can you substitute cornstarch with arrowroot?
absolutely, absolutely. I never thought of that.
Mhm.
What a great idea. I should have done this for Passover when I was doing the catering. Anyway, it's a lovely dinner. I mean, a dessert. It looks spectacular. You can do individual ones, little ones, if you want. But like I said, and you certainly don't have to pipe it. Piping makes it look very professional, but I particularly like it like this. So there you have it. And I'm really happy you joined me, and I'm so glad you're here. Anything else?
Did we decide what we're cooking next week? Did I miss that conversation?
No, I haven't had that conversation. Barry, what were you going to ask?
Oh, the question I have, I've heard that egg whites don't whip if there's any water in it. Is that true? Like if you rinse stuff and don't dry it out, is that true or not true?
I dry it out. I've never put water in it. I have had a little bit of oil in there, and that destroys it. You can't do anything with it. You bake bread with the leftovers or whatever. But I don't know. I would probably, what I always do is I wash it in hot water, have a clean towel, dry it out, and that's what I did right before I threw in the egg whites.
Okay.
Or you can use vinegar. You can, because you want to have, vinegar will make it will dissolve all of the oil. So just saying, there you go. As for next week, anybody have any requests? How about chicken marsala? Yeah?
We haven't done chicken marsala?
No. I checked. I was thinking, well, I would like chicken and wine sauce with mushrooms. Oh yeah, that's marsala. Yeah. And that will, I'll give you all kinds of variations on a theme, but that goes really well for, it's a great spring dish. So I will, we'll do chicken marsala next week, and I will see you all. Oh, and it's going to be almost May.
Almost
May. Can you believe that?
And by next Thursday, I will have been back at work almost a week.
Wow.
Wow.
I hear there's an opening at LAUSD to run the whole thing. I think you should just go for it. And I wanted to thank Carol for the candy recipes.
Oh,
Oh.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Carol, thank you so much for those candy recipes.
I know I've got more somewhere, but I haven't been able to find them. I'll keep looking.
Well, one of these
Thank
days we should do candy.
Mhm.
One of these days we should take a couple of those recipes and do candy, because
We could have a guest chef and have Carol teach us.
that would be lovely, Carol.
Does anybody
not.
have preferences?
Truffle,
Just what?
Truffle, you like the truffles? The
truffles.
thing about truffles is you can make them with any kind of flavor.
Yeah.
Those look really good.
Yeah, they're really easy, and so are the peanut butter ones.
Yeah. So,
And the
okay.
caramels looked,
You
I
will
love
think about
caramels.
this, Carol. You'll think about being a guest chef. If you don't want to do it, I'll do it.
Okay, well, I
But
can do
I'll
it.
use your recipe, and for sure. And enjoy, everybody.
Have a wonderful
good to
week.
see you.
Thanks, Kate.
Thanks,
Bye.
Kate.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you. I want to eat that someday.
Oh,
good.
okay.
I'm really hoping mine will whip up eventually.
Maybe next week.
No, I'm
Oh, horrible,
excited.
horrible. Oh, Bonnie,
Yes,
Bonnie, I want to thank you. I got it's not an advocate, is it?
it is. It's called The Advocate, and I'm sure people are going to be asking for your autograph.
I love it. I love it. I mean, that you did such a good, you always do a good job with The Advocate. It's so,
Thank you.
so you guys take care. I will see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thanks.
So Carrie, is it doing it?
It's getting there.
So did you get your interview with Roosevelt?
Hang on, say that again.
Did you get your interview with Roosevelt?
I did. Hang on, let me